Hello and welcome to Vegan Cheesecake, the only podcast all about vegan food and...
The Golden Girls.
I am Dave Huffman, the bitchy vegan homo.
What's up, everybody? It's your girl, Vegan Vicki of Urban Sweetness.
And on today's episode, we're going to be talking about episode 23 of season 1.
Blind Ambition.
That's right, Blind Ambition.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. This one has probably one of the bigger guest stars on it.
It does.
And it has other...
Kiss my grits.
It has, sitcom royalty, Polly Holliday.
Yes.
Of Alice fame, playing Flo.
Love that show, too.
Mm-hmm. And, of course, the terrible spinoff, Yellow Rose of Texas. Do you remember that? The Flo,
don't.
she had a,
She
had
did.
a spinoff.
That was the name of it.
Yep, yeah. Ooh.
She did have a spinoff.
She did. It was not a good show. No.
It was. I don't even remember. I don't even remember the name of it.
I think it was called Yellow Rose of Texas.
But I'm saying I didn't even remember that because it must have been that bad.
It was not a good show.
Flo.
Yeah, but anyway,
Kiss my grits, Mel.
So Polly Holliday stars as Lily,
yes,
Rose's sister,
yeah,
who is recently blind.
Yeah, she lost her sight after 6 months ago from the episode.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Lily.
Yeah, they didn't explain why she lost her sight. I don't think. No,
they just said she lost her sight.
She just lost her sight. Oh, she also, of course, plays a key role in one of my favorite holiday movies. She's the mean old lady in Gremlins. And Gremlins.
She is.
Yeah.
That is a good movie.
She's the one who's trying to get his dog and gets blasted up through the window by the Gremlins.
Boom.
Yeah. So good old Polly Holliday.
Yes.
So she plays Rose's sister, who apparently is not nearly as ditzy as Rose.
She is not.
No.
So I don't know what happened to Rose.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe
she's just a sweet one.
Dropped on her head one too many times or something. I don't know. Saint Olaf. Who knows? But she comes to visit her sister, and it starts out they're having a barbecue.
Yeah,
on the lanai.
On the lanai. I need a lanai. I'm just saying.
Well, you can have one.
I know, but I don't know if it'll be that fancy.
No, it might not be that fancy. But I do like whenever Sophia comes out and she says, you know what they call cooking over an open flame outside in Sicily? Poverty.
There you go. Poverty, people. It rings true here, too.
Mm-hmm. Well,
I'm just saying.
But
if you're in the right neighborhood.
Well, I was going to ask you about barbecuing, though.
I know. I wanted to ask you about barbecuing, too.
I don't do a ton of barbecuing. I even have a whole vegan barbecue cookbook that I don't think I've ever made anything out of.
Really?
Yeah. Someone gave it to me one time as a gift, and I don't mind. I use my grill, but I never do anything really too fancy with it. So.
Right. I don't either. Just like vegetables.
Yeah. I'll put a burger on there.
Yeah.
I'll put some vegan wieners on there.
Yeah, and
that's about
it.
I have used it one time to make bangin barta. You don't really eat Indian food, right? You haven't had Indian food too much.
No.
Well, it's an eggplant dish where you take the eggplant and you roast the eggplant and then you mash it up. And traditionally, it's cooked just right on open coals, and so I've done that with my grill too. Just put the charcoal, you cover it all with the coals, and you just let the eggplant cook with the hot coals right on it.
Eat that.
Yeah, that's delicious.
I love eggplant.
And if you ever make your own baba ganoush and you do that, it adds such a nice smoky flavor to it. It is so good.
Oh,
so
bet
do
that. I am definitely doing that.
All right.
That sounds awesome.
All right. Won't even put it in the best intentions because you're going to do it.
I'm going to do it.
All right. I like it.
Yes.
But they also come out there, and I like whenever Blanche is reminiscing about the old barbecues they used to have in the South, sitting under the tree with the Darcy triplets, or the Darcy brothers. She doesn't say they're triplets, I don't think.
Brothers.
But it's like one of them's named Bo. It's like Bo, Hank, and Doug or something like that. The Darcys. And then at the end of the barbecue, what are they all fighting over? The privilege of licking Blanche's fingers.
She said they
gross.
Oh my gosh. She is just so
nasty.
Yeah, she is.
Yeah, she's nasty.
And thinks that's just
what a privilege.
The best thing ever.
To be used as Blanche's human, wet
napkin.
Nap. Yeah.
Blanche was getting it in.
Uh-huh.
All the way.
Oh, and they also fought over who got to lick the last drop of butter
off of her face.
Oh.
Yeah. She was just an all-around appetizer.
Yeah. Oh,
or
there
dessert.
you go. Yeah. Mm-hmm. She's the whole meal, I think.
Dessert. Yeah. She was
she is the whole
appetizer through
meal.
dessert.
Oh, you know what though? When you say dessert, that just reminds me. Last week you mentioned that you made a banana pudding.
Yeah, I did.
And I just want to let everybody know that my dear friend Vicki showed up today before we recorded and actually brought me one of those banana puddings.
Yes.
Nilla wafers and whipped cream and all.
Yes.
It was
that
so good.
Aquafaba whipped cream.
It was so good.
Yay!
That really satisfied because I love a banana pudding.
I know. Banana pudding is awesome.
And
especially when it's vegan.
I want to ask you about the whipped cream that you made, though,
Yes.
real quick. I've never made my own Aquafaba whipped cream like that. So tell me a little bit about your process.
Well, the process.
And first off, if you're listening to this and you don't know what aquafaba is, it's the water that you cook like chickpeas in, and the water from a chickpea can, basically, is what it is.
Yeah. So, because you can use, I've tried this too, but you have to use the unsalted ones because it gave it a bad taste. Like when I tried to use a white bean liquid, that wasn't a good thing. But I do have to thank you.
Okay.
For really getting me over my fear of making aquafaba.
Your aquafaba phobia?
Yeah, aquafaba phobia, because I had it for a while. Because remember, I was like, it's not firming up.
Yes, you would
I
send
was
me.
Send you pictures.
She'd send me a picture.
A video. Didn't I send you a video too?
Yeah, if you'd text me, you'd be like, "This doesn't work,"
and you're like,
I'm like, "Well, you're doing it wrong."
Patient.
Yeah.
And I was like, I've only been doing it for 3 minutes, and it hasn't. You're like, oh, you gotta give at least 8 to 10 minutes.
Yep.
Which, so when it started firming up, I was so excited, and I was just texting them every 5 minutes.
Yeah.
But my process now is the cream of tartar, and because I looked up a few recipes, and everybody has something different. So I've tried kind of every way, but then I found my way of doing it is the cream of tartar. But then I also, if I didn't have cream of tartar, I used arrowroot powder. But I used that, and I put that in there first, and then I put the aquafaba in, and I'm just letting that go. But the key is cornstarch.
Oh, okay.
To stiffen it up.
Okay.
Yeah. And then the powdered sugar. Of course, vegan, of course. But the powdered sugar. And I use a little more powdered sugar than all the recipes say, because I found that it still has that
beanie kind of taste.
Yeah, beanie kind of taste.
Do you put any vanilla in it or anything?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I do. I put, and actually the reason that one was so good is because it was actually the vanilla that I made. So I used vodka, like a cheap vodka, and just stuffed it with a ton of, I opened up vanilla beans, and just, it was like maybe, I want to say a good 20 vanilla beans in there.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a lot of vanilla beans.
Yeah.
In a giant bottle of vodka?
Yep.
Okay.
And that, and it's been about a good 9-10 months.
Oh.
That I've let that sit in like the dark shelf.
Okay.
In the back. And it's so good. And I use that for that one, and I just put that in there, and then after it firms up and I have the powdered sugar and everything, the sugar in there and all that, then I'll put in my cornstarch.
Okay.
To stiffen it even more. And that is what holds it.
Now, when you put the cornstarch in, is it just the powder as itself, or do you have it mixed as a slurry first?
Nope,
so
just
it's just
the
the powder. Okay.
Yeah, just a powder.
Okay.
And kind of sift it in there. Instead of just like dumping it out of the thing. And it was really good. And then I just let that, I stop it, put the cornstarch in, and then I let it mix up for about a good minute.
All right. Well, there you go. Well, it was delicious. It was very good whipped cream.
Thank you.
Yeah, I liked it a lot.
Yay.
And so thank you very much for bringing me over a treat.
And I was nervous that this one was going to eat it because, he is a premier vegan baker.
Well, I'm just a sugar whore, so it tasted good. So that's all I cared about.
So, yeah. Yeah, so I was very happy.
Good job.
Thank you.
Oh, the other thing for this episode, the subplot is that they're going to have a yard sale.
Yes, honey.
Because they want to get a new TV, one of those new fancy stereo TVs.
The new stereo TV. And Rose wants to make sure, how can we have a garage? We can't sell the garage.
No.
What?
Yeah, she didn't understand what garage sale meant, I don't think. Bless her.
Pumpkin.
So they're going through the house, and they're gathering up all of their things that they don't care about anymore. And they're also, as Lily is trying to navigate her way around the house, trying to be independent. But the thing about this episode that doesn't make a whole lot of sense is that ultimately she confesses the reason she came down there was to get Rose
to move back
to be, to help her. But then the whole beginning of the episode is her acting like, I don't need anybody's help.
Anybody.
So what was it? She wasn't very good about if she's trying to make it seem like she was helpless in the beginning. She should have been helpless from the beginning.
Right, but you independent, you can't do that.
So that wasn't the best kind of consistency of plotting there. But I still think Polly Holliday did a good job as her blind sister.
She did. She was amazing.
Mm-hmm. And I like whenever she's walking through to get her sweater or whatever from the...
Everybody's moving stuff.
Yeah, she's like, I don't need anybody's help.
I don't need your help.
And then everybody's, while she's walking through the house, is just moving all the boxes, everything out of her way so she doesn't trip and die. Right. She's like, I don't need anybody help. See?
Right.
Yeah.
But you know what? That can be true. Still, you're like, I don't need anybody's help, but then I need everybody's help.
Everybody needs help sometime, and I think you have to be able to ask for help when you need it. Some people aren't good at that.
I have a problem with that sometimes.
Do you?
So, yeah.
Oh, I don't. When I need help with something, but I'm also very good about letting people to stay out of my way and let them know to stay out of my way when I don't need their help.
Right.
And I will ask for it when I need it. Yeah.
See, that's so good. I have to get, I'm not, on. You know what, on some things, but not on everything. Yeah, I have an issue with that.
Well, if you ever need help, I'm here for you. I'll let you know.
Thank you for being a friend. You see, I put that in.
Yeah, I thought is the show over already?
No, it's not. No, stay tuned.
Bless her. Oh, but when she's talking about not need anybody's help, then the thing that was kind of the epiphany where she realized, I do need help, and everybody does need to pay more attention, is when she almost burns the house down.
Burn the house.
Had a grease fire.
Sweetie.
Yeah.
You can't cook bacon.
No. Well, you shouldn't be doing that anyway.
You couldn't be cooking that at all, right?
Yeah.
But you can't be at the stove and you're blind trying to cook.
Well, blind people can cook. Certainly, there's many blind people that cook. But she hadn't completed all of the classes to kind of learn how to be independent and do all these things because
she did not complete all
so she gets a grease fire starts up and she panics and has to call for everybody to come help her. And I've never in my life had something catch on fire on the stove. Have you? Oh, I can tell by that expression and the pause that you have.
I plead the fifth for the fact that it might incriminate me.
As long as it wasn't the banana pudding that I had.
No, it wasn't banana pudding. Okay, this is what happened. Okay.
All right.
So I was going to cook something. I turned on the stove. And I don't know what happened, but I walked away for a minute and I totally forgot that I had turned the eye on. I went upstairs, chilling.
Yeah.
Came back downstairs. I only went upstairs for a minute, So I came back downstairs. I'm sitting on the couch.
Started to smell something.
I'm like, and it had to be a good, I want to say 15, 20 minutes. And I literally was like, what is that? And I had put grease in the pan and everything. Yeah. And I just came in and it was smoking and it just started sparking. It was crazy. And I was like, oh my gosh. And of course, being the goofy person that I am, grabbed the hot pan and burned my hand. And trying to move instead of just putting a lid on, and but you know what else I almost did? This was so bad. I was doing an appearance on Fox 8.
And you almost burnt down the studio.
So I'm up there with Stephanie. And Fox 8 is a local news station for our out of town listeners. Hello. And I was making something. And I'm sitting there, we're talking and everything, and I'm going, and I see the producer and my sister and all of a sudden I'm like, wow. I smell gas.
Oh,
and I was like, and in my head I'm like, oh, and I reached down and I see the gas. The ignition, the light didn't come on.
Right, so you're just filling up the studio with gas,
basically. But I'm like, oh my gosh, what is going on?
So you did almost blow it up.
I did.
All right.
And and the thing is, I was so cool about it. And I just looked down. I said, "Yes, Stephanie," and I just turned But then I was like, "Oh my gosh, is it going to blow up when the flame comes?"
Well, see, I've done that before, where the stove didn't light Like
Yeah.
I thought it did, and I'm like, oh, now I smell gas. And then I light it,
Yeah.
and then you get that little burst of whoosh real
Yeah.
quick. But it wasn't that much gas that I was
But
worried about.
it was a long while because I was like,
Mm.
in my head, I'm like, I smell smoke. I mean,
Or
I
gas.
smell gas.
Hmm.
Yeah. So
Yeah, nothing's ever caught on fire for me, but I did one time. I was making iced tea, and when I make my iced tea, I just kind of boil a couple of cups of water, put some tea bags in there, and
Yeah.
just make like a concentrate of the tea, and then
Right.
dilute it with water. And I forgot that I had that on the stove, and so all the water evaporated out.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until I was smelling like, what is that like smell?
Right.
Because it was like this weird kind of sickly sweet kind of burnt tea. It was
Yeah.
really not good. And then the house was starting to smoke up a
okay.
little. And
Okay.
yeah. And now I always set a little timer to remind me, like, don't let
Right.
that go more than like 3 or 4 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because because it's easy to just
Yeah, you forget.
set it and forget it.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
That's today's catchphrase.
Yes.
Set it and forget it.
Set it and forget it.
Well, have you in this last week? I know we haven't asked you. I haven't asked you this for the last few shows.
Uh-oh.
Have you actually gone out and eat other people's food lately?
Oh my God! Wait.
You went out to a restaurant? No, you
Wait.
didn't. Oh,
Did we talk about this?
I don't know. I don't know. Let's find out.
I had squashed the beef.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I had squashed the beef.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, I did.
All right, there you go.
Yeah, I'm proud of myself.
Mm-hmm.
And it was rather tasty.
Well, good. We like the
Yes.
squash the beef.
Hey, squash the beef.
They're lovely people.
Yeah.
I love them.
So I had that.
Mm-hmm.
So I did go out and eat. And I know I have got to, at least once or twice a month, I have to go.
You do.
Yeah.
Well, I found myself in Columbus this weekend visiting a friend,
Yes.
and just like how Squash the Beef is pop-ups and stuff,
Yeah.
the first place I went to is a food truck down in Columbus called Seitan's Realm,
Yes.
which is one of my favorite names for a business.
Love it.
Seitan, like
Right.
Seitan,
Uh-huh.
Satan's Realm. And they had them the first time when I was there last fall or summer for the Columbus Veg Fest.
Mm-hmm.
It was delicious. I had the Reuben back then, and that was
so
amazing.
jealous when I saw.
Yeah.
I said,
Oof.
"No, he didn't."
And then I had their kind of what is their sort of signature sandwich yesterday, which is they call it their beef and cheddar.
Yeah,
And it
looks so good.
Now, I've never had like an Arby's sandwich, but apparently it's supposed to like recreate that kind of like Arby's roast
Yeah.
beef sandwich. It
Yeah.
has that sort of like tangy,
Yeah, they got
sweet
the
barbecue
tang-
sauce
yeah.
on it, and just smothered in this cheesy like cheddar sauce, and it was delicious.
Yes, it
the
was,
bun
'cause
was
it
delicious. It was so good.
Amazing.
And I posted a picture on my Instagram story of that, but I didn't take a picture of the curly fries that I had as well. I also had some curly fries.
That's awesome.
They were so good.
But yeah, I've always wanted to hit them up.
Mm.
You know what? I might just take a trip.
They're just follow them online, see where
I
they're
am.
going, and yeah, show up. They are so good. I was worried though, because when I had them at the Veg Fest over the summer, I think their line was like an hour and a half long because
Wow.
they were that popular.
Yeah.
And rightfully so, because their food's delicious. But then when I went yesterday, it was a rainy day. So, rainy day in January, not that many people were outside waiting. But there were people there like getting food. I was the only one. But I was worried I'd get there and have to wait in an hour because I was quite frankly too hungry to wait an hour.
I know that's right.
But
Be like, excuse me,
didn't take that long.
Did you drop something back there? Is that your wallet back there? You just
And then
move
you
up?
just push your
There
way to
you
the
go.
front. I know all your
What?
little secrets.
You gotta try it.
It was really good though.
Yeah.
And then later we went to a place called the $2 Radio Headquarters, which is an odd name for a business.
What?
Yeah.
That's like a restaurant?
It is a little vegan cafe and bookshop. And they had like poetry reading going on that night that we were there as well. And delicious food. They have like a full menu and a bar and everything.
Say the name one more time.
$2 Radio Headquarters.
Okay.
Okay. That's it. Uh-huh.
I need to know where that came. That is certainly interesting.
They did have vintage radios sitting on the counter on the bar, like where I was
Nice.
sitting at and had my dinner. But I had a barbecue chicken wrap that I had.
Ooh.
It was delicious. It was really, really good.
Yeah.
Very spicy. It had jalapenos in it as well,
Mm.
and like I think they said like charred cabbage or something was one of the things.
nice.
It was really good. And I had as my side their potato salad, which was unfortunately very disappointing.
Oh.
Yeah, because I do love a potato salad.
Yeah, potato
but this
salad's
one
awesome.
was.
It
Yeah.
wasn't good.
Yeah, I would
Oh.
recommend getting a different side.
Okay.
But what are you going to do?
Hey,
It had a
You
weird.
can't always get 100%.
No, but the wrap was absolutely
Yes.
delicious. And
Wrap made up for
yeah.
that.
Mm-hmm. I should have
Awesome.
probably gotten the soup as my side.
That's true too.
Next time I know.
Next thing
Next-
you know.
You got to try things or else you don't know.
Yes, That's true.
Mm-hmm.
So true.
Mm.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. So back to the show now.
Okay.
Back to talking about
Hello.
Golden Girls, since we're so structured here on Vegan Cheesecake.
So structured.
But I wanted to ask you, since they're having their little garage sale out on the lanai, so
Yes.
really just a yard sale, lanai sale.
Basically.
But anyway, they didn't want to part with any of their stuff. Have you ever had a yard sale yourself or a garage sale?
I've never had one, but I have so much stuff that
You need to get rid of it?
Listen, I could.
Yeah?
I really could.
Well, do it.
But I know I should, but I don't want to. That's on my best intentions.
It doesn't take as much time as you think it would to do it, especially if you don't really care. You know what I mean? As long as you're one of those people that's, I look at them, I've had a couple in my life, and I look at it as like, this is stuff that I just want out of my house.
Yeah.
That still might have a value to somebody.
Yeah.
So if I get a nickel for it or a quarter for it, great. You know, I'm not out there trying to be like, I'm not going to haggle. You know what I mean? If it's out there, I probably don't want it.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, if it's something that has, you know, I don't think I've ever sold anything that had like such a value to it that I wouldn't have been able to be like, yeah, just give me $5 for it. I don't care. You know, because that's the point.
To sell something, and then I see somebody on, what's that show? Antique Roadshow.
Yeah.
And they're talking about, I got this garage sale, and it's mine.
Right.
And it's like worth millions.
Your antique vase.
Yes.
Yes. You don't want that to
like,
happen.
Oh my gosh. Good. I do. I have like encyclopedias that I have.
Yeah. No one wants those.
Nobody.
You know why?
So,
because there's this thing called the internet now.
I know. That's what I'm saying. But I'm like, wow, I had that before the internet.
Right.
This is where you had to get your information.
Yeah. Those encyclopedias.
So, but I love, but then I'm thinking, oh, but my dad bought those.
Well, yeah, they might have sentimental value. I wonder if they probably still do make encyclopedias, just in some way, but I can't imagine. Yeah. They still make phone books, and who the hell uses a phone book anymore?
I know, right?
That's the weirdest thing.
And you know what? I was thinking about phone books the other day, and I was like, man, remember how the white pages was so thick, and you can find everybody's number in there? That is so, and the age that we live in now, that everything is just on your phone or just online.
Yeah.
And you can just boom, boom, and there it is.
Boom, boom. There it is.
Nobody has to think anymore.
No, that is a problem.
That's the sad part.
They don't think.
They don't.
You can watch everything and have everything.
Everything in
there.
the palm of your hand.
Have I mentioned that my father, who he's 90, but he's still pretty tech savvy for a 90-year-old. Like, you know, he's not afraid of computers, and you know, he watches stuff on Netflix and all that stuff. Yeah. But he does always, I think he thinks all the information is on the actual phone. He doesn't understand that it's
the internet.
The internet, you know what I mean? So he'll say, like, he's like, and you can look that up, and that's in your phone. Like, well, it's communicating with things that give me that information.
That is so cute.
Yeah, isn't that adorable?
That.
Yeah, he thinks
it is on the phone, Dad.
It's all in there, Dad.
Yes, it is.
So I do want to talk about the fact that Rose didn't want to get rid of Mr. Longfellow.
She didn't.
Which was her little bear, and she did that very creepy voice that drove Dorothy insane.
She's like, why are you doing that? That is, but that is, I have.
Do you have a little stuffed animal or something from your childhood that still means a lot to you?
I can't find anything.
No.
But I used to have a Manchichi. I love those things.
Well, I know you like to sing the song every once in a while. There you
Manchichi.
go. Yep.
Oh, so soft and cuddly. Yes. It's so much to that. Remember those commercials?
Of course.
Dude.
I do.
No, I don't have, you know what? I really don't have too much from my childhood.
No.
Oh, but I have a traumatic experience. So I had, remember those easy bake ovens?
Of course. Cooking with a light bulb.
Yes. That could cook something. I had one of those. My mother would never let me eat the stuff. And I was like, what is wrong with you?
Why wouldn't she let you eat it?
I don't know. My mom was, look, we trick-or-treated from room to room. What can I say?
But she bought you, so she got you the Easy Bake Oven.
But I couldn't
and you could make the cakes, but you weren't allowed to eat the cakes.
Because she said, it's not done. Look at that. And I'll be like, it is done. I want to eat my cake.
I mean, as I recall, it was just the packets. You just added water to them.
That's all you did.
That's it, right?
That's
so it's not like you were eating raw
special.
nothing.
I know.
I recall them not being probably very good, as I recall.
Probably not.
Yeah.
But I had a Hobbie oven.
Ooh.
And I remember coming home from school one day, and my dad, one of his friends was like a junk man. Like, you know, Sanford & Son junk man. And I remember coming home, and I saw my Hobbie oven on that man's pickup.
No.
Baby,
The betrayal.
Oh my God. I like to cried and screamed at that man. And my dad was like, shut up.
Oh, tough love.
Yes.
Wow.
He did not let me keep my Hobbie oven. And I was devastated.
That is just...
I'm going to buy... I want one now.
Yeah. I think you do. You have to reclaim your childhood.
I am.
Right
I want to
there.
get a Hobbie. They don't even sell those anymore.
I don't know Hobbie, but you can still get an Easy Bake Oven.
Yes.
Years ago, I went to... My friend Brian had a very fun, very gay party. I can't remember if it was like holiday party or what, but he actually did have as one of the little stations there, like he had an Easy Bake Oven that you could make your own little Easy Bake Oven little cakes at that
cute
as a
is
little
that?
at the party. Yeah, make your own little oven or make your own little cake.
I
in that
love
oven.
that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that is so cute.
that's when you know you're at like a gay party.
Yeah,
when you're there with a bunch of adult men.
Making Easy Bake Oven
and
cakes.
people are fighting over who's getting to make the next Easy Bake Oven
that's
cake.
Right. That's a party I want to be at.
I know. I'm sort of jealous that he did that because I can never take that idea.
Right.
Because then I'd just be ripping him off.
Right.
Yeah.
We have to put a tweak on it or something. Make a spin of it or something. Yeah. But that is so. I love that.
And I'm assuming they're probably still just using a light bulb to cook them with, or maybe not. Who knows?
I don't know.
Yeah.
You have to let us know, people, if somebody has.
If you've recently just bought one for your kids or something for.
I need to know. Yes.
Well, I wonder if I have one of those and I made my own, like it didn't use their little mix and just made my own, like put my own cake batter in there and made my own like little BVH Easy Bake Oven cakes.
Maybe.
Then I could charge a premium for them at events.
I know that's right. Listen, you better do it before I do it. No, I'm just. That is so, you can do that.
Well, speaking of events, let's talk about, do you have anything coming up that you want to talk about? I know are you still doing your vegan transitioning, online transition course, correct?
Yes, I will be doing that, but it is a spin to it.
Oh, there's a spin.
So it's actually going to be, I'm just going to be doing videos and everything for people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you know what? Because I kind of wanted to just help people instead of like charging people.
Oh, I gotcha.
You know, so I'm just going to be coming out and just
cool.
giving tips and different things like that. So yes, that will be starting in February. And February 9th, I'll be at Birch Cafe.
Excellent.
On from 11 to 3.
Very cool.
Yeah, so I'll be there from 11 to 3 at Birch Cafe for their I'm with Cupid pop-up.
Nice.
So that's where I'll be. What about you?
Well, I think the next thing I've got coming up is I'm going to be at the Chocolate Fest down on the East Bank of the Flats. That's nice. I think it's in February, but now I can't remember the date. So, but if you go to my website, it's on the upcoming events page. Yes. Or it will be soon if I haven't updated that. But yeah, so that's coming up, and I'm talking about maybe doing a pop-up soon too. So there'll be some stuff coming up because I've been intentionally saying no to things and taking a little time to not worry about it because I've had other stuff going on. Yeah. But now I'll be gearing up and doing some things again. So
wherever you're popping up, I'm gonna pop up.
We definitely do need to do a pop up together.
Oh, that would be awesome.
It would be fun.
Yes.
We'll do that. All right, we'll just take over someplace.
Yes.
We'll just show up.
That's what we do.
And we'll bully people into letting us
move.
Yeah, out of our way.
Get out of our way.
I like it.
Yes.
I am Dave Huffman, the Bitchy Vegan Homo. You can find me online at bitchyveganhomo.com. Also on most social media platforms as Bitchy Vegan Homo, except for Facebook, where it is BVH Show, because apparently Bitchy Vegan Homo is offensive on Facebook.
Facebook is offensive.
but it's okay on Instagram, which Facebook owns. So I don't understand. It doesn't make sense. Whatever. And I'm just waiting for Instagram to suddenly decide that I'm offensive there too. And then all the nice people that are following me and talk to me will be like, one day I just vanished. I'll be like, no.
Where is he?
Yeah. I need to. Yeah, I should probably start a backup account just in case.
Just in case.
Well, we do have the accounts now for this podcast, which on Instagram is Vegan Cheesecake Pod.
Yes.
And then on Twitter, it is Vegan Cheese Pod, and on Facebook, Vegan Cheesecake. So there you go. You can find us on all of those things.
Yes. And what's up? It's your girl, Vegan Vicki. You can find me on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at at urban_sweetness. And then on my website, www.urbansweetness.com. And you know what I wanted to say?
What do you want to say?
Is we got to send a shout out to the last surviving Golden Girl.
Oh, that's
her
right.
Her birthday, she is 98 years young.
Yeah.
Betty White.
The week that we're recording this, Betty just had her 98th birthday a couple days after, a couple days before we were recording this.
So happy birthday, Betty.
Yeah. I loved seeing all the things people had posted online about her. A lot of celebrities' pictures with her.
Yes.
Charo had a great picture of her with her, so it's just nice to see all these nice people loving Betty.
Love you, Betty, for bringing us so much
Betty,
joy.
Thank you for being our friend, Betty.
Yes, thank you for being our friend. And hey, Dave.
Yes.
Thank you for being a friend.
Right back at you.